Okay. Continuing forward to the Grave Horde. Apparently teach a master class on how to attract the attention of every machine in the region at the same time.
They saw me. This is it.
Oh, fuck.
This'll drop you.
Fucking bullshit. Metal flower. Watching the river through a window of trees, spring rain falls.
Eclipse.
I'm not showing any focuses at that location. Shouldn't be anything you can't handle on your own. Carry on.
Thanks. On my own, all right. She went
We
that
got
way.
us a corpse over here. Someone just killed one of us. Get her! Night comes!
Grave Horde. In the shadow of a metal devil. Great. Might regret this.
Something over here!
Oh! Yeah!
Shadow take you!
That does it. Time to take a look around the room. They're inside too.
Brianna Mills.
Looks like quite an enduring victory we put our foot in today. Contact in 30 seconds. Hey, think that's enough time for Sobek to finish Zero Dawn? If this is really it, I gotta say, it's been an honor to serve beside these tanks.
Here it comes.
Brace for contact!
A battle. Frozen in ice and time.
Sergeant Ames Guliev.
Say it again, Lieutenant.
I got through. Titan is through the defenses. Still on approach. Ah, crap. A live one. And he's pissed.
We got no mobility in here. It'll punch right through us.
We hold the hedge at all costs. Then push back out.
Are you getting this, Silence? Silence?
One diary. In the Grave Horde. I'll step back out so you can see this. Lieutenant Fiona Mural.
Titan inbound, same play as Akron. Base defense locks it down. We engage, sever the limbs, blast out the foundries. Another day in the life. Record time, we close. Anthem be on point. Hoorah!
Silence, you getting this?
What is it?
Operation Enduring Victory. What did that mean? Whatever it was, doesn't seem to have turned out very well.
apparently I think I've doubled my death count today. Yeah. Oops.
Operation Enduring Victory. What did that mean? Whatever it was, doesn't seem to have turned out very well.
That's right.
Must have been where the soldiers slept. Like the lodge in Mother's Heart, I guess.
Corporal Acosta, A.
Log. Third Battle of California Marine. The swarm came in from the Pacific, and I don't know if it was the local Minutemen or the crazy 15th, but they'd set the garbage patch alight. Man, the sea was on fire. That stuff was... The first wave of bots came in covered in burning sludge. It bought us an hour or two of slaughtering them on the beaches before the swarm recalculated. We pulled them inland, back through the Kalmar sprawl. Dropped buildings on them, EMP'd the grid. Standard operating procedure. The last time I was in California, I was 5, 6? The light was like that vintage social net filter that was everywhere in the 40s.
Silence, you getting this?
What is it?
All these soldiers. They died here.
People die all the time. I'll keep going and find something interesting.
You're a piece of shit.
Log. First battle of the Eastern Seaboard Wall. Had a long run up to it. This was before Kalmar, and projections were a lot worse for the East. For 3 weeks, we kept getting scrambled out to some coastal burg to train Minutemen. It was always raining on account of Europe already being torched. Block after block of prefab barracks. They were still printing barracks right up until the hour the main force hit. The Minutemen? We ran combat drills with them in the streets where they'd lived, trying to pretend they might live to die somewhere else if they paid attention. Nothing worse than the ones who actually bought into it. Hopeful, pestering us with questions about Zero Dawn like we know something they don't. I swear, the more we do this, the more like the bots we are. Except they learn from every fight. And us? I'm not so sure.
Reminder again.
Recalls, I've been instructed to remind you of Article 115 of base policy regarding unauthorized use of processor cycles. Specifically 115C. Any holographic simulation not directly related to operational training or efficiency. Consider yourself reminded, and enjoy your gaming.
So sorry.
I know it's been days, honey. I'm so sorry. Deployments are getting real long and tougher every time. The swarm's getting better at predicting us. Less of us now. And we have to put in 10 times the work for everyone gone. Like a family business on hard times, only... This isn't my family. It's not with you. I still try to see you. The life we had. In the eyes of the people out there. I remember when they were glad to see us. When they still had hope. It all seems to be slipping away. I don't even recognize the places we're defending. The only thing I know I'm still fighting for is... you. For Zero Dawn to turn this around. Whatever the hell that is.
Just a little longer.
Thanks for the mails, you.
Well,
Time goes fast on active duty.
this is the first
4
one.
months with the Reckon recalls. I don't know. 20 drops. In and out of the West Coast, fighting with these civilian enlistees. Scrappy guys and gals. Their training is basically, here's a DEW. When you see a bot, hit it. But somehow it's all coming together. Between Between us and the 6th MRB, we took down a horse at Lithium Beach. Pulled out before its buddies arrived, but to see a big one go down, I hope you made the news, honey. Showed everyone we're gonna have a shot at turning this around. We just need to give Project Zero Dawn the time it needs, then everything will be the way it used to be.
The furnishings were metal. How'd they ever get comfortable? It was the metal world. Guess they were used to it.
Corporal Sarai. Looking back, I thought 64 was shaping up to be a pretty good year. No more drinking and no more mercenary sec work. Stripping offshore wind farms for the OEZ, just me and a plasma cutter, 400 feet above sea level. Then I got the recall alert. Read them up on a turbine and the smell of cooking ozone. They covered every angle. Better pay, amnesty for any Combine wars you'd fought in, guaranteed citizenship. We should have thought, okay, what's the catch? But what we did think was, I guess we're better than the bots after all. Big hot talk from Herreras about pride and duty. Smart guy. He was right. I'd be proud to be a U.S. soldier. I jumped at the chance to be one again. And look what I landed in. I don't know what the OEZ is. I think it's probably just like one of the governments.
Just one bed. Maybe their war chief's room.
Part B. Last night we got talking about D-Day 55. I was a kid then, only a few years out of boot camp. General assembly in a drone hangar, summer and the sky was bare, the heat was killer. They say U.S. human combat forces are being disbanded. All automated now. We're last cycle's tech. Out like the old net. 1 million more on basic in a century's recession. Could be you'll help build the robots that took your jobs. Or, if you know how to handle a power suit, you could find a place that still uses manual labor. Maybe in the OEZ or China, where you're not our problem. Low suicide risk, it said in my discharge file. Scared I'm gonna be all focused on something and some Eclipse fuck is gonna just like drop a bomb at my feet.
These wires must run to the power source.
Ooh. Puzzles.
I haven't seen one of these since I was a little kid. There must be some kind of Oh, that's informative. 3 power lines, 3 sources. That makes 1.
Hey, y'all wanted to know how I remember the geotherm system reboot? Goes like this. Bird flies north in summer, east in spring, west in fall, and south in winter. Didn't expect to hear nature poetry from the lips of Mike the GT Tech now, did you? As usual, I defy expectations.
Yeah, opposite.
That's two. One more.
Up.
Okay, that did it. Sounds like that did it. Tools being used. And voices. More clips. Must be another way in. A power cell. Like the ones I found before. I'm gonna have to figure this out.
Ooh. A lot of boys.
Getting picked off!
Oh no, no bomb! No bomb!
Just weapons.
Got you!
No, you don't.
You can't evade. Get out there and look, brother. Find some cover, fools.
Ah, that idiot bombed himself.
The shadow will reach you wherever you.
Bomb. Blink. Wow, that guy had a lot of boxes on him. Alright, well, that's how they got in.
Might need this.
So many mushrooms. Oh, big jump. Okay. Big jump. Ooh. Did not make it. Also did not die though, so. Damn it. There we go. Well, many data points.
Thanks for the mails, you. Time goes fast on active duty. 4 months with the Reckon recalls, fighting with these civilian enlistees, scrappy guys and gals. That's all coming together.
Okay.
Between us and the 6th MRB, we took down a horse. I hope it made the news, honey. Showed everyone we're turning this around. We just need to give Project Zero Dawn the time it needs.
Probably got edited.
I know it's been days, honey. I'm so sorry. Deployments are getting real long. We have to put into work for everyone. Like a family business. I still see you in the eyes of the people out there. They were glad to see us. They still had hope. I'm still fighting for you.
Oh.
Status report. 9th Mechanized Response Brigade, Commanding Officer Lieutenant Fiona Morrell. Unit morale continues to be adversely impacted by outbound engagements against the Pharaoh Plague, especially when said engagements occur in sectors where civilian guard enlistees have been heavily engaged. The scope and nature of fatalities suffered by civilian guard and unarmed civilians in these sectors defy description. And witnessing it is generating a pervasive sense of hopelessness in the unit. Accordingly, I once again request that deployments of the 9th MRB be temporarily refocused on facilities that are mission critical to Project Zero Dawn. And once again, I request an immediate update on the status of Project Zero Dawn's timeline.
Ames, I know I mail you too much. I'm just proud of what you're doing. Everyone back home is. We got moved inland 10 kilometers, just as a precaution, they say. School's still in session, so I get to keep my eye on Andres and Reggie. We never know where or when you're fighting, but when the VTOLs go over, all the kids run out and wave. I believe in you. I know nothing's ever gonna be the same, but I believe in you. I believe in us.
One can assume, yeah.
Ames, I don't even know if you're alive anymore. The mails I get from you, they say they're from you, but they don't sound... They sound recycled. Phrases put together, and you don't say anything about the news I pass on. The containment zone, the rebreathers, the rioting, One Earth. What happened in the Dallas bubble, Ames, that wasn't the robots. They won't even give me a straight answer when I demand to know if you're still alive. They just say if your messages keep coming, then you're still operational. It's not fair, Ames. It's not fair that you won't be with me when the lights go out. I love you.
That's so sad.
I use the console, but I know this. Deployment records. Operation Kickback, Reno, Nevada. Civilian Guard and Armor Battalion skirmish with Vanguard elements of Pacific Northwest Swarm PN-12. Engagement began at 0600 and concluded with the withdrawal at 2100 the following day. Losses in excess of 40% reported. Operation Thick Skull, Shenandoah Valley, SA Tech, Virginia. 12th MRB, supported by Civilian Guard, fought a rear guard action against the Eastern Seaboard Swarm ES-17. Engagement began at 0800. At approximately 1400 hours, 12th MRB reported the position was overrun and received authorization to detonate SA Tech facility, inflicting significant damage on ES-17. Surviving elements of 12th MRB withdrawn to Akron, Cleveland defensive line. Operation Body Blow, Akron, Ohio. 9th and 10th MRBs, supported by sustained aerial strikes, assaulted the Horus-class Titan, resupplying the Eastern Seaboard Swarm's ES-18. Engagement began at 400 hours and concluded at 2200 hours with the elimination of the Titan. Note that this is 9th MRB's third Titan kill with minimal losses. Brigade readiness status, 3rd MRB. Refused recall orders from Operation Pinch Hit deployment along Pensacola-Tallahassee defensive line. Court-martial proceedings underway. 7th MRB, recalled from New York engagement zone to reinforce Wichita Theater, ready. 9th MRB, refitting at USRC facilities, ready. 10th MRB, transferred from Kalmar, data corrupted. I'm, like, mentally bracing myself for whatever this has to say. Okay, that's enough fucking around.
What is this?
That? It's a map.
A map of what?
Our world. The planet Earth, Aloy. It's not flat like you thought.
Why would I think that? During eclipses, the shadow cast on the moon is curved. So our world is a globe. And it looks like this, from a distance.
We'll discuss this another time. Back to the matter at hand.
The Faro robots were spreading across the world, eating everything up. Somehow, Elizabeth stopped them before it was too late. But how?
I like that Aloy just checkmated flat earthers. I'm not an idiot, Silence. Jesus. Oh, that's a lot of supplies outside of this store. Just gonna...
The eclipse. Tampering with the metal devil. They don't think they can wake it, do they?
Watch out! Sun, shadow.
Another Kobish. And this one can move.
Yeah, I don't like the whole being able to move thing. from past experience that he can shoot that halfway down.
It's...
Shoot at your knees. Shoot at the robot knees. Good luck shooting you when you have no knees. Better shape than the last one. That boy was lots harder than the last one.
We had to fight hundreds of those all at once.
Oh, I have anxiety burps. Atmosphere degradation. August 2065 confidential. Chief findings: despite increased tactical proficiency of elite and civilian guard units and many hard-won engagements in the Central European, Antarctic, and Pacific Reach theaters, the Faro Plague's rate of advance has not slowed, nor has its biomass consumption rate. Damage to the biosphere has already exceeded 2038 levels by every measure and grows worse by the day. Extinction timeline projections remain unchanged, with OAC predicted for the mid-November 2065, annihilation of exposed human populations in February 2066, extinction of macrobiotic land organisms by the end of March 2066, and extinction of marine life in early 2068. Continued secrecy re Project Zero Dawn. The utter silence regarding its mechanisms of action and complete date make it impossible to predict Zero Dawn's impact or lack of impact on the extinction timeline. Atmospheric collapse. Atmospheric oxygen depletion and toxic emissions remain the greatest environmental threat to Operation Enduring Victory, as well as the wider civilian population and animal life. Operational atmospheric collapse, OAC, is currently predicted for mid-November 2065, after which military personnel will require rebreathing apparatuses to operate in the open, and civilians will only be able to survive inside sealed structures. The requirements for air scrubbing and recycling facilities is addressed in Addendum A linked to this report. Potable water shortages. Major water treatment facilities are already struggling to process water sources compromised by rainfall heavily contaminated by toxins emitted by the consumption of the Eastern Hemisphere. Following the necessary shutdown of all nano-scrubbing functionality, wastewater recycling is already beyond capacity. Military response escalation. Addenda linked to this document cover the short-term effects of scorched earth engagements in defense of the western seaboard and ongoing effects of the oceanic environment or economic zones, use of nuclear weapons to delay the enemy's initial advance across the Pacific theater. Data corrupted. Well, that sounds pretty dire.
Dr. Sobek, as projected, the Wichita salient has collapsed. 5 Horus-class Titans have broken through. We predict contact in 34 hours.
Everything is in position, General. It took a few shortcuts to pull everything together, but Zero Dawn is functionally complete. Good to go.
That enduring victory served its purpose after all.
Yes, if we'd had even one day less.
I've sent you an encoded file, Doctor. Please do me the favor of archiving it.
I'll see what I can do. What is it?
A brief statement. An allocution of crimes, I guess you'd call it.
To what are you admitting guilt?
Over the past 16 months, Doctor, I have presided over the greatest wholesale slaughter of military personnel and civilians in the history of history. Genghis Khan, Hitler, Stalin, Sorabella. Add them all together. They don't even come close.
You didn't do the killing, General.
No, not directly. But I didn't wind up the highest-ranked military commander in the United States by resisting the automation of the armed forces. Even before the swarm, Doctor, I was helping death along. So, instead of letting what I've done sink into the murk, forgotten, I've sent a file with all the details. Let posterity judge my actions with clear vision.
I'll do as you ask, General. But you should consider that were it not for your actions, our actions, there wouldn't be any posterity to judge us.
Perhaps. Dr. Sobek.
At ease, General. And goodbye.
Hell of a thing. Thank you, Dr. Sobek. You can take a seat.
What? You're going to thank her after what she just said?
Dr. Sobek has made the situation very clear, General, and given us an option. We should all be thanking her.
No, it's just... I mean, my God.
Maybe take this discussion offline.
There's not going to be any discussion. You saw the numbers. Now, Pharaoh, he'll foot the bill, but his money can't buy the time necessary to complete Zero Dawn. That can only be paid for in blood.
Oh, come on. If we upgrade our fleet, crack the code somehow...
Were you not listening? Robots can't do the fighting for you this time. When it comes to hacking, this rogue swarm is an apex predator. Anything automated you throw at it, they will hijack and take over.
But this... We'd be throwing civilians into a meat grinder.
Commanders, the enemy we're facing self-replicates faster than we can kill it. And it eats biomass as fuel. Zero Dawn is all we've got.
So we put a railgun in the hand of every civilian strong enough to carry one, show them where the trigger is, and point them to the front? How the hell do we sell that?
By giving them something to fight for. Zero Dawn. The top-secret super weapons program that will save us. So long as humanity holds off the swarm long enough for Dr. Sobek and her team to finish it. The file I'm sending contains the war plan for Operation Enduring Victory.
War plan? This is a war crime.
It may be ugly, but it's something. Consider the alternative. Dr. Sobek, I've secured use of a decommissioned orbital launch base outside Bryce, Utah as the Zero Dawn staging area. Plenty of space there. When can you get started?
I've already mailed you a list of alpha and beta candidates. Most are foreign nationals or subjects of corporate holdings, so extracting them...
Leave that to me. You'll get your dream team. Count on it.
Then I'll be off. Orbital launch base. What is that? What did these people do? What did Elizabeth do? Glad to be rid of that place. Now I just need to find the orbital launch base they talked about.
I've checked my data and located the base. That's the good news.
And the bad?
It's directly underneath the Citadel. The palace at Sunfall.
The capital of the Shadow Carja. Not exactly convenient.
The palace is crawling with Eclipse agents. Many in positions of authority, all of them wearing focuses. The moment they see you, Hades will too. He'll issue another kill order, and this time, the entire Shadow Carja military will be after you.
So, disable their focuses. You've done it before.
It's not that simple. Too many focuses in one place, each of them communicating with each other and back to Hades, a whole network of them.
Network? What's that?
Imagine a vast, invisible web stretched across the land from end to end, connecting focuses together, allowing them to communicate over vast distances instantaneously.
All right, so is there some way to cut the web down?
Crash the network. Audacious. Yes, there is a way. A weak point in the network.
Point the way.
I'll send the location data to your focus. Head there, and I'll be in touch when you're close with more directions.
What was Zero Dawn? What sort of super weapon did Elizabeth make? She stopped the machines, but not before the world she knew, her civilization, ended. Let's hope it won't. Now, how am I gonna get down from here? Oh, this should be quite the ride. I'd do that again, if it weren't so much work to get back up there.
Oh, shit. Alright, if you have to get going, then I might actually just play on and, take care of some other pieces of business. because we have many pieces of business to accomplish. So, all right, let me start accomplishing some business. Yeah, this is like a lot of stuff. I am going to head for Sunstone Rock, the prison. Thank you, Nil, for the information. Just feels like it's the right time to take care of some of these little bits of side business before I go into the heart of Shadow Carja territory. Still really entertained by Silence letting us know that pharmaceutical is an ancient word for medicine. Fucking world.
Their attention.
Pretty sure I took down a couple of grazers as well as at least one.
Can't carry more.
Shit. Baby's got a lot of stuff. Get rid of my tiny meat though. Ooh. Bandito camp. Alright. enough babies here. No sign of baby. Yeah, no sign of my hunting partner.
Washes away the taste of metal.
Wait! Stay on it!
All right.
God, this is a big bandit camp.
see the alarm. Hope I don't hear it, too.
And when I tell Mill about this camp, he's gonna be so jealous.
I see where they've caged up the captives.
Huh, nothing.
I'll get this open. Hold on.
Search is off.
Let me get this
Fight's
open.
on.
Oh! Ooh.
Got you located.
That was a big hit. God, that's a lot of bandits.
Couldn't find him. Spit on him.
Oh shit! They killed the captive.
Fight back, damn you all! Ow!
Exploded. Oh no. Alright.
Poked around enough. Can't find him.
Almost had it.
That was a good one. That was a big one. I think I saw a data point in there, so.
Got too much already.
I can sell some of this crap. Did I not have the long light lens? I thought I did, but I guess not. At this point, I really just need as much potion buying money as I can scrounge up.
Still he lives.
Going down fast.
I love this armor. This is not really good for sneaking around in.
to kill the Sun King, and Honora saves his life. I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah, I saved the Sun King's life. You want to fight?
She was incredible.
Sorry, I have no news
Stopped
that would
Dervahl without
interest
breaking
you.
a sweat. I had no idea the Nora were so fierce.
Yeah.
Lucky that the Nora was there to protect the Sun King. What on earth was Vanguard doing?
Dervahl tried to kill
Whoop. Ow.
I bet those traitorous Oseram will conveniently lose Dervahl in transport to Mainspring.
What scares me? Text mail from Izzy Mandel. Merc, remember what I told you in my last message about how scared I am? Well, I figured out what scares me, and it's not the bots. I mean, yeah, they're horrifying, but when we finally come face to face, I'll either live or die, and the starkness and simplicity of that binary is, well, reassuring. What scares me is how much I like this, how a DEW feels in my hands, the kick of a coil gun. Jesus, Merc, we lived in a squat for 3 years, matching mohawks, spent our days throbbing off Razor Wing or Duster, nights thrashing off slam funk gigs. We were goddamn anarchists, and now this? Disciplined jargon uniforms, and I like it? That's what terrifies me, Merc. No crisp, reassuring binary here. I'm loving what I hate, or hated. So does this mean my entire life was just a pose, or that the person I was is already dead? I don't know. I try to tell myself it's a different kind of war. Survival, not profits. I try to tell myself that it's just a different kind of direct action. I mean, what are the bots if not the ultimate capitalist stooges, right? But thinking just tires me out. All I know is we've got to fight until Zero Dawn is ready. If I end up surviving this, I guess I can worry about my politics then. Love to you and little Sid, Izzy. Alright. Now that that little bandito problem has been taken care of. Hit the road. Oof.
These will keep.
So, a lot of healing stuff around. Oh.
This must be Sunstone Rock. It's being attacked by machines.
I don't like our chances. You want to tell Warden Geneva we back down? Well, let's take our chances.
Well, I just got my head taken off. God, I don't even know where the death count is at now. I think it's... What?
The Sun King's grown too soft. Too much Oseram influence at the palace. What's he thinking, letting Dervahl live?
Don't you talk shit about my boyfriend.
Worrying about my next meal.
Don't talk shit about my boyfriend. I will fuck you up. Okay, let's try this again.
Fresh as it comes. Never know when I might need these.
Okay.
This must be Sandstone Rock. It's being attacked by machines.
I don't like our chances. You want to tell Warden Geneva we back down? Well, let's take our chances.
Our first big boy. That must be what just like destroyed me last time.
Got it.
hit.
You pulled us out of a tough spot, Outlander. Welcome to Sunstone Rock. You should speak to Warden Geneva inside.
It was a machine lure. We don't know how they got it.
Rosgrund concealed the parts on his person, no doubt.
We searched him. How?
You don't want to know how.
Warden Geneva. This is the one who defeated the behemoths.
Outlander. I'm impressed. I don't impress easily. Tell me, how do you fare with hunting living prey?
Haven't had any complaints. Why?
3 dangerous prisoners have escaped. I need my men here, getting the others back in line. None of this would have happened if we dealt with criminals the old way. But I've clashed that gong before, and here I am. And here you are.
What's the old way?
To be buried up to the neck and left for the sun's judgment.
Seems to me like the judgment's already been made.
Not one of them committed another crime.
So the Carja keep their criminals in this place?
Since the liberation. We've had them all, from thieves to the Mad King Jiran's former kestrels. The Sun King believes in the power of change, and sure enough, some did change. Shed their skin, like lizards. I thought all criminals were the same once. That's why the Sun King gave me command of Sunstone Rock. As an education.
Sounds like an honor. I mean, I haven't seen any other women in Carja armor.
No. I'm not one of your sisters. No woman can wear Carja armor. When I was young, I chose to become a soldier. One good enough to join Avad's honor guard. There was talk about what I was. So I'd say, test me, and I'll break your arm. After enough arms had been broken, there was less talk.
I'm curious, but...
Isolation cages. Don't feel sorry for them. They've lived well off the Sun King's conscience. First is Rosgrund. Oseram trapmaker, hates the Carja, crazy as a loon in heat. Caught in one too many blasts. Or one too few. Then there's Ulia, a Tenakth warrior, if that means anything to you.
Not really. Another tribe?
Reavers. From the south. Bloodthirsty. Some say they're cannibals, but she slurped gruel well enough. And the last is Gavan. A traitor who smuggled weapons to the exiles.
Compared to the other two, this one doesn't seem so bad.
He helped drag out a civil war, all for the shards it got him. A machine has more warmth.
Ooh, this is gonna be a fun question.
Do you know a hunter named Nil? He told me about this place.
Nil? That's what he calls himself now. Is he well?
I maybe wouldn't say well.
He was born under a long and dark shadow, but he wasn't a knife without a thought behind it. Like the butchers of the Sun Ring. He had honor. Old-fashioned. His time here... boiled it to the surface.
Well, that's a statement.
So you want these prisoners brought back?
No. I want them put in the earth. I doubt they'll give you any choice. They had their chance with the Sun King's generosity. So now they face mine. A bounty on all their heads. Ulia of the Tenakth, Rosgrund of the Oseram, and the traitor Gavan.
If I did this for you, I'd need a lead on them.
Well, when Ulia first swept through the Sundom, it was with the jungle bandits. I say she'll go back. Rosgrund we pulled out of a crack in Dusk Mesa. where he'd been tinkering with his bombs. And Gavon will be trying to pay his way across the lake. I'd burn my palm on it. Looking bright, Market.
Alright. Well, I guess we are going to do that. But I think I will save that for tomorrow, because we've made a lot of good progress today. So that will be for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Aloy. Good night, everyone.